In this video, I'm going to show you how to use the PC client software to view your NVR system. We've already installed the software on our Windows computer. If you're not really sure how to install a software on a Windows computer, we recommend you check out a YouTube video. It's pretty straightforward. You just run through an installation wizard after downloading the exe or executable file. But like I mentioned, we already have it installed, so I'm going to go ahead and double click this software to open it. The software is called Easy Station. When you first install the software and boot it up, it's going to ask you to create a username and password to log into the software. That username and password is completely separate from your NVR. However, we recommend setting it to the same username and password. That way it's not lost or forgotten. Or you can give us a call or email to find out what that username and password is. You can also set it to remember the password or log in automatically. And we definitely recommend setting it to remember the password and log in automatically, so it's never really an issue. Here you can see upon first login, we're presented with a device list. It searches the network for any devices that I have connected. In this particular example, I don't really care about adding the IP cameras as separate devices. I'm more concerned about my NVR because my NVR is already recording all of those devices. At the top, you can see it offers a username and password section. This is going to be the username and password that's actually set on your NVR, and it should be the factory default password. I'm going to go ahead and type that in. And again, I've checked just the NVR, I've entered the username and password, and now I can click the Add button. It's going to automatically take me to the live view screen, but I want to confirm that my password was entered correctly, and as you can see, it did pull up the cameras in live view automatically, so I must have something right. If you don't automatically see your system pulled up, you will want to go to the Control Panel tab at the top left, and then go to the Device Management screen by clicking Device Management. It's going to open up a new tab. And in here we can see there is an online status for our NVR. That means I successfully typed in my admin username and password, and then I have my NVR connected to my network. If you get an offline status or you get a password error status, you will want to make sure that your NVR is indeed connected to your network and that you've typed the username and password in correctly. If you want to just edit that username and password, you can click the edit button here or edit button here. Again, you cannot change the password from this software. You're simply editing what password the software is using to log into your NVR. But I have everything set up, so I can come up here to this tab and click close. It's very similar to modern browsers such as Firefox, Google Chrome, and Safari, in which it uses a tabular view at the top. Let's overview the live view settings. So I'm going to click on the live view tab. It's going to bring up those cameras that were pulled up. And I should mention that we don't have a camera connected to the first channel, but we do have cameras connected to channel 2, 3, and 4. Here you can see a live view from the second camera. If I wanted to bring this into full screen, I would simply double click this channel. If I wanted to bring it away from full screen, I would double click that again. There is also this button here which does that same thing without double clicking. Go to full screen, and it brings up all three of these channels. I can double click on this channel to bring it into full screen again, double click here, or to exit this full screen mode, click the escape button on my keyboard. Furthermore, there are some other neat features here. I could take a snapshot to my local hard drive. I could do a local recording to my hard drive. I could use the digital zoom to digitally zoom in on a license plate, for example. I could click that icon again to get rid of my digital zoom. If these cameras had audio, I could enable the audio by clicking this icon. If they had two-way audio, I could engage the two-way audio by clicking this icon. Now let's talk about playback. To get to the playback screen, I'm first going to need to go to the control panel icon here. And for live view, please note there are some other different things here like saving your view. You can snapshot all the cameras at the same time, or you can start recording at the same time or stop recording. And then here you can change your layout. But like I said, let's move on to playback. To get to playback, we would first go to the control panel at the top left tab and go to the playback screen. It's going to open up a new tab, and here we can see our NVR listed. We can either click this NVR, it's going to pull up all channels, or we can select the channels that we know are connected and have recorded video. Here you can see, depending on whatever camera you have selected, it will highlight the search time or calendar for whatever day has recording for that particular camera. I know I have some good recording from October 8th for these channels, so I'm going to select October 8th and then finally click the search button. It's going to search my NVR for footage from yesterday, which was the 8th. And then here you can see there is a timeline at the bottom. I could click anywhere in this timeline. Now, depending on whatever camera I have selected, it will move that camera to that particular point in the timeline. So as you can see, for each camera, I do have to click on it first and then select where I would like to play back in timeline. At the bottom here, we have some playback controls. If I wanted to sync all my cameras at the same time, I would come down here and choose synchronous playback and then choose a time on my timeline. It's going to do its best to synchronize all of these cameras to the same time. I could pause my video. I could stop my video. If I pull up one channel, I could also do the playback speed here at the right hand side. It's going to increase the playback speed on all of my channels. You can go up to 16 times playback speed. Please note that this is very data intensive, so you may see these buffering icons, or your NVR may struggle to send the data over the network. So you're going to want to try and reduce that playback speed and not overload your system or network. At the bottom left hand side here, I can close all the windows. I could take a snapshot from all of the windows, or on the right hand side I could do a download. Again, you see the full screen icon here, which would bring all of these grids into a full screen, or you could double click on a channel to bring it in the full screen here and then bring it full screen by clicking that button. To escape out of this full screen, you need to hit the escape key at the top left hand side of your keyboard. So I've clicked that button, it's gotten me back to this. Hopefully this video gives you a basic overview of how to live view and playback your system using the Easy Station software. Thank you for watching.